Alrighty, let's see if we're live. I'm gonna press some buttons here to dive into my own YouTube channel and see if we're actually up and kicking. Episode 19 here today of the 2024 redesign of the Color Mana system. Episode 19 here today of that sounds like good volume to me. Cool. So let's go ahead and grab that. I'm going to do some social media posting here real fast. I'll do a quick intro. And we're going to work on 2024 backgrounds for Ravnica, Strixhaven, and Theros today, because those have not been updated for 2024, and I doubt they ever will be. So it's going to be up to us, kids. So hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, I publish them online, and I've been a DM since 1987. I've been a Magic the Gathering enthusiast since 1995. I've been a freelance illustrator in the gaming industry since '99, and I've been creating content for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, publishing on the DMsGuild since 2017. And that got started when when Wizards started creating Magic the Gathering settings for Dungeons and Dragons. The big hope was we have the 8 schools, right? That's a Magic paradigm that the Vancian Magic system. It's spell slots in the 8 schools of magic equals magic using. So I think a lot of us were hoping that we would see the 5-color mana system put into place using spell points, like lean into the idea, like Dark Sun leaned into the idea of psionics. Planescape leaned into planar travel and guild development, like you see in Ravnica. And so we thought it would be within reason to see a color magic system with mana points replace the Vancian Magic 8 schools and spell slot system, but it did not. So it was pretty evident. That if they weren't going to create it with the Ravnica setting, they weren't going to create it at all. And after Theros and Strixhaven came out, it's pretty obvious that there was never going to be any color mana spell point system for 5e. So we created one. It's called the Color Mana Spell Point Variant Rules, and it's on the DMsGuild right now. Let me just get my intro cleaned up here real quick. If you're on the X Twitter platform, I'm here at Phil Kearney. I post, we have a play test that we're going to be doing through May next year right now, from level 3 to 10, doing dungeon adventures using the martial power system and the color mana paradigm. Obviously we're live now, so here's a bunch of early looks, works in progress, artwork that I've produced in the past, and invitations and coupons and stuff. So you can check all that stuff out here on X Twitter platform at Phil Kearney. Here on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications of when I am live in the future, which is 10 times per week. Monday through Friday in the morning, I do artwork. Monday and Thursday nights like this, we do design stream stuff. And on Tuesdays and Friday lunchtimes, we do design stream stuff. And then Saturday brunch, we have a Saturday morning stream that we run doing whatever. So 10 times per week, working on different games, mechanical systems, adventure design, artwork, commissions, whatever. It's just whatever's got going on, that's what we do. So you can check all that stuff here at Phil Kearney. And here's a stack of books that I've created on the DMsGuild already that are all free preview. You can check them out, including the Color Mana Spell Point Variant Rules themselves. Here they all are. There's 6 of them all bundled together. We're rebuilding these books to be compliant with the 5e24 rules, though if you ever pick them up, you can get the backlog issues of them, because whenever I make updates, the website keeps a log of those updates. So there'll be like a year and a half gap between the last time I updated it and when these books start publishing again. So it'll be an obvious time scale difference. You can just go back to, if you want the 5e2, if you want the 5e14 versions, you can always roll back and grab them, or they're available right now. We're in the process of building 5e24 right now. That is literally what we're doing today. So we are going. So if you want to be part of the playtest, here is a link. The playtest is either going to be on Monday or Saturday, whichever one accumulates enough votes first we'll go with. And I might end up running both Monday and Saturday if there's enough interest. It's just a dungeon. It's just a mega dungeon. It's not like it requires a lot of thought. You just got to build cool enemies and throw them at the team, and just keep in mind what their goals are, what the monsters' goals are, and what are the players doing that either helps or hinders them, and how do the monsters respond when they're being helped or hindered, and that's basically how the game flows. It's old school mega dungeons are so easy to run. It's crazy that more people don't do it. It's a lot of fucking fun. So you can join the playtest there. The document that we're going to be working on today is here, the Color Magic plus Martial Power playtest document. You can access it here through my Patreon. If you click the Martial Powers button, it'll pop open a read-only Google Doc that you can look at. You can look but don't touch, which will match the document that I will be editing live here on screen today. So let's see. Yeah, we're updated. So there you go. Let's take this down. Let's see. We have we have all the martial powers, all the feats and abilities and descriptions of all this stuff. And then we get through the class features for the barbarian, the fighter, the monk, the rogue, including all their subclasses that are in the 5e24 book. And then we've already done all the other subclasses using this system. So we're going to publish the core book, and then we'll have a kicker that we'll add on to an expansion, just as an excuse just to have more art. But so we get through all the different archetypes of power, and for the arcane trickster, and then we have the ranger and the paladin that we get through, and then we go through the warlock and the artificer, and that leads us into the magic items using the martial power system, power gear as it were, and yeah, power gear. And then we get through the power gear, we get into paradigms. So the magic paradigm systems, DM section here. So I think Mizium gear. I fucking love that. That was really just a fun discovery. So let's skip down here and make another section. Backgrounds. I have to study up on how the backgrounds work, so we're going to go through that process here now. Backgrounds. Let's see. Updated. Ravnica, strixhaven, and theros. Backgrounds for use with color, mana, and 5e24. So let's go with Ravnica, Strixhaven, Theros, oh, hey man, how you doing, Zona? We're gonna start digging into backgrounds, and so a couple challenges that we're going to face with this is the backgrounds from 5e14 are really bloated for the MTG settings. You get a feature, and you get progressive spells. You get a feat. Actually, Strixhaven, that's how it goes with Ravnica. Progressive spells, oh yeah, and Renown perks. In Strixhaven, we get the feat, mascot feat. Mascot, familiar feat, progressive spells, and that was it. In Theros, we have the piety perks, and I honestly don't remember what else it was that we got in Theros. So I'm gonna go. I don't think Theros had like unique Theros backgrounds offhand, now that I'm thinking about it. So let's go find it real quick. Game sources. Let's see. The Mythic Odysseys of Theros. Mythic. Nope. Let's go find it. So we have to take the broad diversity of what these things offer, these backgrounds from 5e14, and we have to convert them into what's appropriate for the 5e24 mechanics while still honoring the things that you're supposed to be able to do. And okay, so there's that. Let's see, friends and foes, characters, divine character backgrounds. Might come from, my God, whether or not your character is exceptionally devout, consider reviewing the deities. In addition for your god's supernatural gifts beyond this, so myths of the Aryan games, athlete, you get skill proficiencies, a language, tool, equipment, favorite event, echoes of victory. You have attracted admiration from spectators. When visiting any settlement within 100 miles of when you grew up, there's a 50% chance. Okay, basically it's the peasant hero ability. Oh wow, and that's the only. Okay, great. So yeah, there's absolutely nothing that they tacked on to the backgrounds for Theros. So they're just as they are. Let's look at piety real quick. When you choose a god to worship as a beginning character, your piety score related to that god is 1. Your piety score increases by 1 when you do something to advance the god's interests or behave in accordance with the god's ideals. The gods expect great deeds from their champions, so your piety score typically increases only when you accomplish a significant goal, such as the completion of an adventure, make a significant sacrifice of your own self-interest, or otherwise when the DM says so. It goes up a point. There you go. Benefits of piety. The standard array in D&D is 3, 10, 25, and 50. But people that are familiar with the command system that we had developed know that we use renown a little bit differently. Let's get down into our renown to see our progression there. Allies, squad combat. Let's get Guilds and Kingdoms. So this is the Guilds and Kingdoms book that we have been working on, that I'm currently playtesting with right now, that converts basically everything into ability checks. As an organization, either a guild or a community, you can accumulate resources to represent different levels of guild or ranks of guild. It corresponds with the proficiency bonus as a half-caster that you would have as a character. So this kind of treats a guild or a kingdom as a character that the players control, as a group of NPCs that are working together, generally aligned with what the players are trying to do. If the players control or own the guild or the community, then the players basically have free run, kind of like a bastion. This is roughly the size of if you're operating with a guild, this is basically like if you're a guild level 1, it's like a sole proprietor shop, like a shoesmith or something like that. Like a shoemaker, right? Or a blacksmith, or maybe you're a traveling a traveling performer. These are very low ranked guilds that act as business structures that operate inside different industries. And so as the organization gets larger, it accumulates more members. And so if we're talking about, like, say, Ravnica, which is controlled by the guilds, they're actually more like kingdoms, like cohabitating kingdoms inside the same space. But from a guild perspective, they would have over 10,000 members as a global size organization. And that is absolutely true for Ravnica. So so everything basically breaks down. Like if I want to set up a new trade with like a neighboring city, and like maybe my adventurers found a gold mine, and they're laying ownership of that gold mine, they can connect with they can connect with a guild that knows that has activity in the commerce industry that can establish a trade line from your mine to like a refinery somewhere. So you can work at a very base level of commerce to basically like set up this operation that can run itself while your character's out doing adventuring and only occasionally need to give input. But the more expansive role-playing game that I've been running off screen here is, wait for it, there you go, my alarm went off. It basically, as you perform tasks as a guild, each task has a difficulty check that you roll as an ability check. In your commerce, like in there's 6 listed here, but in the game I'm running, we have the commerce industry, the lore industry, the loyalty industry, and military. These are the only 4 aspects of society that we're worried about in the campaign that we're currently running. Economy, lore is like intrigue, knowledge. They do a lot of scrying and clairvoyancy stuff, plus espionage and spying on people. That all fits inside of the lore category. Military, it's a Spelljammer campaign, so they have a squadron of mecha pilots that defend their asteroid territories. So that's a military operation. And then loyalty is, it's more, the way that we're using it currently in my campaign is loyalty is like HR, your ability to hire new people, and your reputation. How much does a promise mean when it comes from your guild? So those are basically the 4 aspects. Basically, I mean, you can have an infinite number of industries. These are the 6 that Adam Hancock had created when he published Baldur's Guide to Kingdom Building. He was my editor for Spelljammer, and if I ever get this off the ground as a Kickstarter, God's willing, he'll be involved in editing that work as well and being involved in the Kickstarter. I would love that, but that's in the future. We have to get through all the playtesting of it. So, the general gist is like if I want to set up that trade agreement with like for extracting ore to get sent to a refinery, that would be basically a commerce check. So it would be an ability check against whatever the difficulty is. And if my guild succeeds the roll, then so far so good, we're able to establish that connection, however long it will take or whatever. If the die roll fails, there's a complication that prevents us from being able to move forward until that complication is resolved. And that then can either become, here's your general tasks. So the difficulty of the task, generally that's the difficulty of being able to do it. So if you fail at a task, then it gets a complication. And you can decide, do we want that complication to be something that the characters directly resolve themselves personally? Or do they want to allocate that as something for their guild to resolve? The guild has already failed in some aspect of commerce already, so they can no longer use commerce to try to progress that goal if the players don't get involved. So you'd have to then switch to either loyalty to convince them that your word is good and that they should work with you out of clout, or lore, you start spying on the people that are blocking progression to see if there's a way that you can find to intimidate, persuade, or deceive them into approving the deal. There's a military option where you can go in and physically force them to perform or even take over their organization by basically just mafia stealing it, because the commerce roll failed. So you can have your guild attempt to proceed with that, but as they continue failing in industries, it's going to continue to ratchet up the difficulty of the task. And eventually your characters are going to have to get involved, because if you want this deal to go through, your guild has utterly failed at being able to move the dial. It now becomes your personal responsibility to do that. And at any given time, you could have 5, 6, 10 different tasks that are going on that are resolving like every 10 days or every month or every season or whatever your pacing is going to be at. But every one of these tasks that you're having your guild perform is either going to succeed and progress and open up new options for you to do more things with, or they're going to fail and create complications that need to be resolved to be able to move forward. And any of those things that either succeed or fail, the team, the players can decide that the characters are then going to insert themselves into the circumstances that were created by the die rolls, and that becomes your adventure. And the way that we have our campaign currently, it's every 10 days, the guild updates, and then the team chooses which thing they want to mess around with, and then whatever that thing is that they're doing, it resolves within 10 days. So they either succeed or they fail at the adventure. They then go back home, have their downtime rest, and then when the guild flips over, it has a guild's turn. Everything gets updated. Here's all the successes you had. Here's all the failures you had. Here's the new things that are now open to you because of your successes. Here are the things that have become complicated because of the failures. And then again, we really want to, like, maybe you make a deal with the local dwarves to take care of that refinery, and they're interested in helping you. However, this isn't a complication, but they are willing to sweeten the deal if you can help them. Since they're helping you establish this refinery, there's this other thing that they're interested in. There's actually a copper mine that's not too far away from your at, but it's under siege right now. If your team could go in and clean that up, we'll actually be able to establish a line of connection to both the gold and the copper mine, and maybe that's going to give your character more economic resources by rescuing and then partnering with that guild, with whoever, to be able to oversee security for that copper mine while you're taking care of your gold anyway. It's just another, like, it's just 15 miles away, so we can manage that. So that becomes like a military objective that you maintain, or it just becomes a new loyalty tie that you create. We helped you, you help us. And the dwarves introduced that idea to you because you were successful with the refinery. Or it could have been a failure, and the dwarves are like, we would love to help you, but our lower tunnels are being flooded with trolls, and we can't refine anything right now because we're fighting for our clan's life. If you want to come in and help us, we're all good to moving forward with you, and we'll give you good rates. So whether you succeed or fail, it can create new opportunities for different types of adventure that either further your goals or help you reestablish connection with what you wanted to do. So the failures, like when you fail a die roll, it's not like you fail at this. It's like, this is a thing that's cool, but it's got a complication on top of it. And as those complications continue, eventually if you run out of industry, you have to let the thing go. The opportunities passed by. But at that point, your team has failed the die roll 4 times and didn't bother getting involved. Obviously, they don't really care about that thing. It's very natural that that would fall off. So that's the general idea. But the reason why we're inside of here right now is because I wanted renown. You can see here, population size for a community is 10 times larger than what it would be for a guild itself. So like, if you treat Ravnica guilds as their own nations or communities that are intermixed with each other, then yeah, there's obviously more than 100,000 people on Ravnica that are Azorius or Demir or whatever. But there are also more than 10,000 above as well. So, I mean, both the numbers work. But I'm scrolling down here because I want to find, it's been too long since I've looked at Renown. Ruler rank, maximum, amount of commission, feudal lords, rulers and resources. This is a tax system. Resources, you accumulate resources, which are like virtual dollars. Basically, it means like your guild can perform this much activity because here we are, because of the resources you have. And once your sole proprietorship accumulates enough resources, it's probably going to expand into a larger business. Now it's a second tier guild, and it's not just your shoe shop, but now you actually have like merchants going out and selling your shoes. That's the level you've grown to. Or you've created a conglomerate of other cobblers. You've created a community of cobblers inside of wherever your home city is at, and now you're like the shoe czar or something like that, and it just continues to grow out in that manner. Like maybe you get into leather, like maybe you need a leather resource. So by the time you get to 3rd rank as an organization, you now own cow farms or bison farms, so you get easy leather access. Yada 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 yada. So, but this is what I was actually looking for, a step in between. They go from 310 to 25 to 50. So this is a jump from 3 to 7. You technically don't have any renown in a guild at 3, because you start off with 1 point of renown and you have to gain enough points to be noticed by the god in piety or by the guild with renown. So by the time you accumulate 3 points of renown, you can start with 3 points. Your character can start with any number of renown that you want, but if you're starting at first level, it makes sense that you would have 3. Generally, it's going to be 2.5 times your level is the amount of experience, is the amount of renown that you should have. Like a 20th level character, at 17th to 20th level, that's when they should be scoring a 50 renown. So like 17 times 3 is 51. So there you go, times 3. First level times 3. This is admittedly inconsistent. Let's smooth out that curve. 3, 15, 27, 39, and 51. So if I were to rebuild this curve, this would be the way that I would do that. So, and since there's no real renown anymore in DMG 2.5, I can redefine renown as I damn well please. I can also claim authority over spell points because they drop spell points from the DMG as well. So my spell point system is now the superior best choice. It always was, but now there's no competition. Unless you just want to use bad math. So there you go. You gain renown. So that is the piety perks. Let's go back into Theros and look at inspiration on piety, kind of stuff that we get. Impiety. Not every hero chooses the life of a divine champion. The Leonin in particular are known for rejecting the worship of gods. If you don't devote yourself to a god, you don't have a piety score and you gain no reward for piety, but you don't suffer any negative consequences. The iconoclast, I would allow piety and renown to exist inside the same space. Piety would be to an individual god, while renown is with organizations in general. If events in your life occur, once you abandon a god's service, you can rarely go back without performing some act of contrition. When you change gods, you'll lose all the benefits granted by your old one, including rewards for piety and any of the divine blessings. You no longer have a piety score to your old god, and your piety score to your new god starts at 1. Let's see. Relationships. I know the least amount about Ravnica in comparison to Strix and Ravnica for sure. Champions, favor. Suggested backgrounds. So the only thing that we get in Theros is piety perks. So we can scaffold piety and renown for all 3 of them to be not class features, but just a function of renown itself. And by having a 5-point scale, that actually makes a lot more sense. So let's see. So renown and piety. Score. Both renown and piety are measured by their renown or piety score. Characters start with 1 renown, and as they accumulate more, they gain additional perks. Ravnica, Strixhaven, and Theros. Strixhaven, for instance, is going to get, so we do the scaffold of 3, 15, 27, 39, 51. let's see. Guild spells. Guild spells. Guild spells. Guild spells. Guild spells. There you go. College spells first. College spells second. College spells third. College spells fourth. College spells fifth. Let's see. There's guilds, colleges, and God. God spells first. God spells second. God spells third. God spells fourth. God spells fifth. There we go. All right, what else do we know? We know at Strixhaven you get mascot. Familiar. Ritual. And by 5th level it upgrades. Mascot upgrade feat. But there isn't really anything past that. So let's see. Is there any cool piety that we're earning along the way here? Earning and losing piety. There we go. How do you earn it? Devotee, piety. Your life is intertwined. You can cast Gentle Repose. 10 piety. You can speak with dead. 25 piety. You can cast False Life. And piety 50. You can increase your intelligence, wisdom score by 2, and increase the maximum for that score by 2. Okay, let's see. Is there any other activity? There is now. Ravnica gives you shit at every tier. Guild perk 1. We're gonna have to make up a bunch of fucking perks. Guild perk because we added the extra layer. Guild perk 3, guild perk 4, guild perk 5. And we have college perk 3, college perk 4, college perk 5, god perk 1, god perk 2, god perk 3, god perk 4, and god perk 5. We might have to come up with unique perks for every single god. I'm not necessarily excited about that idea, but we do that for Ravnica already, so we're gonna have a scale. We're gonna have a scale happening here regardless. So we may as well do it for Theros' piety. And so we get the mascot, we get the upgraded mascot. Spells. So right off the cuff, let's just do this. Spells equal gain 2 spells or powers. Gain 2 spells. You can add them to your list of prepared spells, whether you can cast. You can cast these spells even if they are a higher level than you can cast, assuming you have the mana to do so. Choose to the spells. Click. Thank you. The spells can be any the spells chosen can be from any cleric, druid, or wizard lists that are devoted to the colors of your guild. So this divorces spellcasting from your character level as long as you have enough mana to cast it. But it's going to be only up to 5th level. So by the time you get 51 renown, you're going to have 5th level. You're going to have access to 5th level magic. Even if you're a half caster, you'll still have access to high magic. So let's grab this list real quick here. Go back up here. There we go. Guild and colors. Let's skip that for now. We're just gonna blank that out. These are damage types, so we still have it down further below, but these are the different damage types that are associated with each of the guilds given by the colors that they have, and how the guilds are generally framed. Like red magic for Gruul, fire and lightning makes sense, and the advanced damage type would be force and thunder. While the Azet League is also taking fire and lightning, but they're having psychic and force damage as their higher level stuff. Anyway, not important for this conversation here, though. The other way that we could do it is select one spell of the appropriate level when you gain it. Any spell from cleric, druid, or wizard, and for you, it is the color of your guild, one or the other. Meh. There you go. I kind of like that. The more I think about it, the more I like that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that different. Choose one spell from the listed level for your renown score from the cleric, druid, or wizard spell list. Choose one of your guild's colors. This spell is devoted to that color in addition to any other colors it may be. For you, I can reword that. Choose one of your guild's colors. The spell is considered to be The spell is devoted to that color when you cast it. There you go. For the sake of mana. This is also important. The issue is that there's 15 gods in Theros. There's 10 minor gods that have 2 colors. And then there's 5 major gods that each only have 1 color. So I need a mechanic that is going to not penalize you for having a 1 color devotion as opposed to having 2. So that causes me to reduce it to 1 spell from any list that can be any color you want. If your god is I think Nydia is the goddess of green energy. So you would only pick green. It'd be dumb to pick blue. She's not a blue. She's not a blue god. So you would make those spells green, but even if they are not normally green, and plucking them from any spell list allows you to make really interesting character options. Kind of like everyone gets to be a little bit of a bard. Yum, coffee. And we have our colors. And then spells. Period. Guild benefits. We're going to call them benefits instead of perks. There. Guild benefits. When you gain the level, when you gain the listed score, you gain additional benefits unique to each guild as listed. Unique to each guild. And then we would list all 10 of them. So guild color, and then we'd have benefit 1, benefit 2, benefit 3, benefit 4, and benefit 5. There's no way they're going to fit inside that space, but that's the structure that we're working with. So you get your guild benefits, and then you get your spells, and that's all that we get for Ravnica specifically. And we're removing the specific spell that you're going to get per level, and leaving that open for the characters to choose themselves to help cement their color identity over everyone casts the same spell, because the way that is built currently is that you have a set list of spells that you get for taking the background. Everyone casts these spells, so when you see these spells cast, there's a good chance that they're going to be from that guild, right? That's a tell. But if you're using the color magic paradigm, you don't have to look at the spell to see what kind of guild they might be a part of. Instead, you can look at the color of the magic that they're using when they cast the spell. So by looking at them, unless they're using some sort of a concealment, subtle spell, or subtle power, or something like that that conceals the visuals of the spell casting that they're performing, you can just look at them. It's like, that's blue magic that you're using. You're going to either be Dimir, Azorius, Izzet, or Cynic. Unless, of course, Dimir is using a deception power, in which case they can change the color of their spell so it looks like it's, like, say, green instead of blue or white. So that's one of the perks that the Dimir gets, deceptive magic. So, and, I mean, obviously I can't fill in all the details here, but this is the general structure. So we divorce the perks from the feats you can still have a feat when you gain your first level background, right? This is just the coding that goes. This technically isn't even background stuff. So I guess maybe that's a misnomer. I'm tempted to ditch the name Renown and Piety altogether and instead go with Devotion. Devotion, the color that your spell is devoted to is referred to as devoted, like you saw down below. Like a fireball is naturally devoted to red. It's a red spell. So instead of saying it's a red spell, it's devoted to that. If I'm going to if I learn fireball as a white spell, I can now cast it with white magic. It's devoted to both red and white for my character. I could have devotion, which is how many points of devotion do I have in, say, the Gruul clan. I'm having a thought. Hold on. I'm thinking about renown as spell points. Like as you accumulate renown, that's a resource that your character can actually expend to do guild stuff. It's kind of a neat idea. That's beyond the capacity of what a single character would be. I'm thinking about them as like downtime activities, almost like the bastion point system that Wizards threw away. That might actually be a good chassis for us to frame what you could do with renown points around. There could be something to that. Like if you accumulate 100 renown, your guild will resurrect you once per cycle, however long a cycle is supposed to be. Like if it costs 100 renown, if it costs 100 bastion points for you to be able to resurrect your character once, then maybe we divide that by 3. Maybe it only, like, once you get to a renown of 30, they'll cast whatever appropriate level spell to bring you back from the dead would be, for instance. Maybe, I don't know. I'm playing with that idea. So this is kind of a different direction. I hate they don't use the term anymore, so I don't want to make up terms because I want people to know what we're talking about. Piety and renown. It's like fealty, you know? Piety is your devotion to a god. Renown is your reputation within an organization, your notoriety. Is it notoriety that we want, or what's the god? We're okay with it for now. Okay, so updated Strixhaven Theros backgrounds for use of the color mana 5e24. The renown and piety. The
2014 bonus spells, feats, and features have been removed, and features are gained through piety and renown as listed below. The backgrounds specifically provide stat adjustments and an origin feat of your choice as detailed in the ttrpg. So this is a great opportunity for us to go to the player's handbook. It'll take a while for us to dig through the gods. That's gonna be some work. Player's Handbook 2024. Let's go visit the backgrounds to make sure I haven't missed any detail. Origins. Backgrounds and species from older books. Let's see what it says. Backgrounds in older books don't include ability score adjustments. If you're using a background from an older book, adjust your ability scores by increasing one score by 2 and a different one by 1, or increase 3 scores by 1. None of these increases can raise a score above 20. Similarly, species in older books include ability scores. If you're using a species from an older book, ignore those increases and use only the ones given by your background. Also, if the background you choose doesn't provide a feat, you gain an origin feat of your choice. Okay. Let's see. Background. Choose a class, determine origin. I think this is where we're at. Choose a background. Record your feat. Note proficiencies. That's right. Okay, so we get feat, proficiencies, and stat increases. Yeah. Standard language is rare. So, where's my background? Backgrounds. Sixteen backgrounds are present. Intelligence, wisdom, charisma. The feat you gain is Magic Initiate. Skill proficiencies are 2. Tool proficiency is 1. And random equipment. Ability score increases. Starting feat. Origin feat. Skill proficiencies 2. Tool proficiency Equipment. Scores, feat, 2 skills, choose one kind of artisan tools. By divorcing the all the all the guild stuff from the background into just the renowned system itself, you could have an artisan character background in Ravnica, and they'll function just fine. Choose as part of character creation, choose a guild from the below list. You begin with 1 point of renown. New origin feat. High renown. You start with 3 renown in your chosen guild. High status. You start with 3 renown. In your chosen guild, Strixhaven. 3 renown in your chosen college, and Theros, 3 piety with your chosen god. So you can choose high status and start off with more renown than a character normally would at first level, thus giving you your first level spells at first level. That can come in really clutch if you're a first level character and you wanted to get access to a spell. Like if you're a first level sorcerer and you wanted to get access to, hell, I don't know, Guiding Bolt. Guiding Bolt's a great fucking spell to get. First level spell, deals shitloads of damage. Load up. Ooh, look, let's do it. Actually, let's flip the script on that. Spells. Choose 1 spell of the listed level for your renown score. No, goddamn it, because of fucking major gods and Theros are limited to only 1 color. Fuck, that's because like a Rakdos character with 2 colors, right, has 2 or 3 times the amount of spells that you would for a single color. That's not fair. That's not fair. So you can't do it that way. I like the idea of choose the color from your spell list, like from the color that you chose for your character. choose a special spell from it. But just being able to cherry pick a spell from anything at first level, it's... I like the idea of it. Yeah, I like that. I like it. It's... My brain is saying that's pretty OP just to be able to let them open up the book and take anything that they want. I'm only... I could dictate... The problem is that 5e24, there's less spells than ever before now in 5th edition. So I don't have a wide range of spells to just go collect and make a really good list for each of the guilds. Yada, 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 yada. So that just doesn't... There's 35... No. 10, 15... There's 30. There's 30 different guilds, colleges, and gods that have color identities that I need to build spell lists off of the limited list of the 5e24 spells. That's just... I don't like it. I also don't like... what is it? Encode memory. Pretty sure that's not in the 5e24 book. So like the signature Dimir spell that like Dimir hangs on as a background doesn't have access to that in their background. I'm going to confirm that encode memory is not in here. If encode memory is in fact inside this book, I will recant. And I will add unique spells for every single one of them. It's a cantrip. Okay, well, where's your list of spells? Spell descriptions. Encode memory. Nope. Does not exist. All right, so the path that we're on is the proper path to stay. Can't recommend encode memory without having encode memory available, so pick a spell, it's yours. Choose one cantrip. And one spell of the listed cantrip and one first level 1 spell. From the spell you choose is devoted when you cast it. There you go. Spell's chosen. When you reach new tiers, new ranks of renown, piety. See how much I fucking hate that? When you reach new ranks of renown, piety, you gain an additional spell up to the max level listed listed for the rank. Up to the level equal to your renown. You could just make it renown level. When you reach a new level of renown, you gain an additional spell up to that level. The spell chosen can be from cleric, druid, or wizard lists that are devoted to the colors. When you reach new levels of renown, you gain an additional spell up to that level. Up to that level. There you go. Good enough for now. There. Good. Ability score increases. Origin feat. Skill proficiencies 2. Tool proficiencies 2. New origin feat is established. So this is the format that we have. Ravnica. Strixhaven. Theros. All right. Let's do this first. No, we can't just do blind colors. The thought here was that we could just make a background for each individual color, but that would make sense because they mean so many different things. Like the schools, the guilds, and the gods have enough identity that we can create skill proficiencies and tool proficiencies and equipment to correspond with them. We can leave the origin feat open, and we can make suggestions, pretty good suggestions for ability scores for the different guilds and factions and shit. So color is a bad idea. So I'm going to drop that. Let's go back down here. Grab these. Bloop. I don't need to know colors right now. Ability. They come with proficiencies in tools already, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So all we have to do is establish the ability scores that can be modified, and I have a lot of thoughts about that already. So, like dexterity, charisma. Choose one. So House Demir has dexterity and charisma built into it. Your character can choose one of the ability scores to be whatever you want, because there's such every single class is in every single guild, so you don't want to pigeonhole them too much. Dexterity, charisma, those are useful. Choose you could have, or you can choose, like, say I'm going to be Demir, but I want charisma. It's like, great, go ahead. Or you already have charisma. Say I'm Dimir, but I want intelligence. Okay, great. Take intelligence. There you go. Azorius Senate. Dexterity, charisma, or choose 2. That or choose 2 is just going to be on every single one of them, because they're like a Dimir Barbarian is going to be completely different from a Dimir Wizard, right? But they're both in House Dimir, and if we're setting up House Dimir to be a background, then we can say there's a general tendency towards Dexterity and Charisma. But if you wanted to, you could just choose 2. We could just say choose 1, but again, that's going to force you into Dexterity and Charisma. It's like, I want to play a Golgari Swarm character, but I don't want to have to be devoted, for instance, to Constitution and what would be another one? Constitution and Strength. Or choose 2. This is giving us a general flavor. I guess these 2 are just giving us a flavor for the guild, and this one's just opening the door to say, do whatever the fuck you want. Gruul Clans is going to be that feels right to me. We'll choose 2. Azorius Senate. It's going to be Constitution, Wisdom, or choose 2. Strength, Charisma, or choose 2. That is going to be Dexterity, Intelligence, or choose 2. This is going to be Charisma, Wisdom, or choose 2. Cult of Rakdos is that's going to be Constitution, Charisma, or choose 2. Dexterity, Charisma, Strength, Constitution, Strength, Wisdom, Dexterity, Intelligence. Charisma, 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 Charisma. Constitution, Constitution. They don't have to be balanced, but it's cool when they do. Not a lot of intelligence floating around. Strength, Wisdom. We already have Gruul Clan doing that. Wisdom. Damn it, we already have Strength and Wisdom. Oh well. Choose 2. Constitution. Choose 2. So how did this turn out? SDCIWA. How much we got for which? So we have Constitution and Wisdom. We have Strength and Charisma. We have Dexterity and Charisma. We have Strength and Constitution. Strength and Constitution. We have Strength and Wisdom. We have Dexterity and Intelligence. We have Wisdom and Charisma. Take your time with timer. We have Constitution and Charisma. We have Strength and Wisdom. And we have Constitution and Intelligence. Huh. What if I were to peel one away from Constitution for Intelligence and peel one away from Strength to Dexterity? Four, 5, 6, 10, 20. Okay, that's appropriate. 20 is not divisible by 6, so I can never get them even, but I could skew away from the strong stats, which is Wisdom, Constitution, and Dexterity. Like, those are the 3 good stats. Charisma makes so much sense for Cult of Rakdos. Wisdom and Charisma makes so much sense for Orzhov. Is that Dexterity and Intelligence makes a lot of sense. Dimir, Dexterity, and Charisma also makes a lot of sense, although Intelligence does too. It's the black. It's the black factor that takes me into Charisma territory here. Strength and Wisdom. Strength and Wisdom. Can we go with Constitution instead of Wisdom? That spikes the hell out of Constitution. Gruul Clan, Bulgari Swarm, Boros Legion. What if we... Of course. That made sense. Now, if I could get that... Is there a way for me, let's see, Boros Legion, Charisma's high, white and blue, Orzhov, white and blue. House Dimir. Blue is often Dexterity. Black is often Charisma. Gruul clan, strength and constitution makes a ton of sense. Selesnya, strength and wisdom makes... Okay, let's just go through and see if these things... Constitution and Simic makes a ton of sense. Transformation and genetics. Selesnya of strength and wisdom. Strength makes sense because of the green aspect, but green is often constitution too. Red and green. Where's Colt at? Constitution and charisma. Dexterity and constitution. Strength. I like that. I think that's sitting pretty. So constitution, strength and charisma, strength and constitution, dexterity, and I don't see anything for dexterity and constitution, but this isn't a bad array. Could we get away with Boros charisma being dexterity instead? One good, 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 one good. Holy shit! Okay, we should leave this as is, because as it's built currently, there is one good saving throw stat that's native, one good and one bad for each of these. Even though Golgari and Gruul have the same stats, I'm okay with that, but... could go Dex. Could we go Dexterity and Constitution? Well, Golgari, I don't think that quite fits. Gruul being strength and con makes a ton of sense. Actually, maybe Golgari makes more sense as strength and constitution, as green and black. Green constitution, black strength. Green constitution, red. Let's go dexterity. I am not 100% on that, but... Strength and wisdom, constitution, charisma, strength, charisma, strength, wisdom, intelligence, wisdom, strength, dex, holy shit. Okay, well, we've managed to make each one of these unique. Still strong. Gruul gets too strong. There. Okay, yeah, I'm good with that. Strength dex. Yep, these are all unique. Holy shit, that's not bad. Nice. Yeah, so the two set are thematic, and then you just choose two. So that's good. So the abilities, origin feat is your own. I'm pretty sure these already have tools. So bring your fucking tools. Let's go find them. I know they're down in here. This is a pretty good format, by the way. Keep this. How's it go? Lorehold. Prismari. Quandrix. Silver Quill. And Wither Bloom. Yeah, Quandrix. There's only 5 of them, so it's going to be easier for us to stack through. Lorehold is white and blue, I think, but they're like excavators and stuff like that. So let's go dexterity and intelligence. That feels right. Or choose 2. Prismari is blue and red. Dexterity. Charisma. Or choose 2. Quandrix is wisdom. Intelligence. Wisdom, or choose 2, of course. Silver Quill is definitely going to be, let's go intelligence and charisma. Or choose 2. And Wither Bloom will be constitution. Wisdom, or choose 2. So how do you guys break down? S, D, C, I, W, A. Strength, 0. Dexterity, 1, 2. Constitution, 1. Intelligence, 1, 2, 3, bump, bump, bump. Wisdom, bump, bump, 2. Charisma, bump, bump, that's 2. So all I gotta do is figure out how to get intelligence. All I gotta do. I got nothing for strength. Green and black. Strength. Strength is both green and black. Well, I just got rid of my fucking constitution. That's not cool. Talisman's Wisdom for Conjurers just makes sense. Constitution feels right over here. I don't see strength in any of these. Meh. Oh, well, it is what it is. That is what it is. So we're just gonna leave it be. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave those be. I think there's skills that are already established. Deity and piety. Deity, piety. Abilities, that's fine. Skills, I know we have skills established. Let's go fish. Where are we at? Oh, we're in Guilds and Kingdoms. That makes sense. Let's go to Marshals instead. There you go, dude. Backgrounds. Yeah, we do have the skills for all these broken down. Insight, intimidation. Boros is athletics and intimidation. House Demir, set up. Disguise kit. Calligraphy set. Not sure about Boros yet. Cartography tools. We'll get the Laurel. It's pretty balanced. I'm pretty happy with that. Golgari Smarm. And Herbalism kit. Rule Clan. Oh, that was Gruul Clan. Golgari Poisoner kit? Yeah. Of course. Some kits. Did we not get? Did Boros not get tools? Oh, gaming set. Of course. Orzhov. Everyone's intimidating everyone. I bet there's some sort of tool. Calligraphy set, that's right. I think I'm gonna be done here soon. Orzhov Syndicate, Abacus. We should look up the tools in the PH. Colta Rectos. Probably like an instrument of some sort. Artisan instrument, something like that. And Simic. Healer's kit. Orzhov. I think there's scales or like an abacus. I think is an actual item. Let's go look at equipment. Tools. He's focused on crafting. Yeah, I was right. Calligraphers, that's good. Cobblers, cooks, glass blowers, jewelers, leather workers, masons, painters, potters, smiths, tinkers, weavers, wood carvers, disguise kit, forgery kit, gaming set, herbalism, musical instrument, navigator's tools, poisoner kit, thieving tools. And there's just gear. Tinker tools. Obviously, tinker tools. Potter's tools, painter supplies, mason's tools, leatherworker tools, jeweler's tools. There it is, jeweler's tools. Cool. So we have the abilities taken care of, we have our skills taken care of, tools taken care of. We don't have the equipment yet, but those are already listed. We choose background. We can just cut and paste that stuff. And I don't have a specific origin feat. I want to leave that open for you to choose whichever feat that you want. We have the renown with lists, but we don't have each renown that you gain, what your renown perks are for each of those. But I've been at this for about what, 2 hours now? Hour 40 minutes. I feel like I've gotten some good work done. It's 8 o'clock here in Seattle. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it for the night. We're gonna be back tomorrow morning to work on Eberron, more Eberron adventure page art. And it's Tuesday, so we'll be back at lunchtime to continue working on probably color mana work. Maybe we'll finish off combat gear, weapons, and armor, or we'll continue picking at the backgrounds like this. But yeah, I think I'm happy with this being a little bit more fluid with the spell acquisitions. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I like all this. This is all coming along great. So we'll end up doing this for Ravnica, and we'll end up doing this for Theros as well. Whether I do all that here on screen or not, I think it's going to be an issue of whether I think it's fun or not. If not, I'll just wait until we actually start constructing the books in the new year, and then I'll just have that build out as downtime activity for myself off screen. So anyway, that's it for now, guys. I will catch up with y'all hopefully in the morning, and have a good night. Cheers.